Hello, and welcome to. Welcome to the first ever freaking episode of the Pit Stop Podcast, which I think was changed names as we go on. but yeah, welcome to my podcast. This is I'm Lyman. How's it going for my first ever not live stream, but first ever podcast. Um, get some music going, non copyrighted music. Um, ever we all went down. Sorry, some growing pains right now. This is the first ever podcast. I'm nervous. All right. So, yeah, this is the first ever podcast. Welcome. Um, so got some various topics to go over before the Las Vegas Motor Speedway race um, for the Pinto 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. 400. That's a little loud. There we go. Of course, before we go to Las Vegas, we gotta talk about the first ever big news that came out of the NASCAR realm. That is Chase Elliot. Um, Chase Elliot hurts his leg in a snowboarding accident. It's been revealed that it's been a left leg tibia. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Left leg it was his left tibia, I believe it's called. I'm no doctor. Sorry, if I get the name wrong, I apologize. But yeah, it'd be his left leg, his left tibia, due to a snowboarding accident. Um, it's very unclear as to it's very unclear as to how long he'll be out. Um, the biggest question is where the break is at. If it's like maybe midway up the bone, rod and screws. Um, say about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Um, 1 or 2 weeks to rehab. 1 or 2 weeks. 1 or 2 weeks of rehab. Um, yeah. Like if it's in the middle of the bone, I'd say it'd be like middle of the bone, like so like a rod and some screws. Like say like maybe 2 weeks, like 1 week for rehab, 2 weeks, maybe three. But if it's like say the knee area or the ankle or anywhere near a joint, this is what Kyle Busch said. Someone who has experienced breaking some bones at the early stages of a season. Going back to 2015 when Kyle Busch just smacked the inside retaining wall at the Xfinity Series Daytona at the season opener at the Xfinity Daytona race, where he broken his right leg and I believe his left foot, if I remember. But I think this is his right leg. But Kyle Busch was out for like half the season. Came back on like a huge tear and ended later on win the title. Kyle Busch he said like if it's like in the center of his leg, then it'd be a rod, some screws, maybe out for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But if it's say the knee or the foot or anywhere near a joint, then it might be that, then it might be more than a month, more or less. Maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months, which is not great. Um, I mean, any amount of time missing the race, missing time, in the car is not great at all. Um, I don't think it matters who you are, but um, of course, if I were a Chase Elliott fan, I'd stay optimistic. Yeah, it sucks. I hope he has a speedy recovery. Um, but I hope he has a speedy recovery. Um, but I stay optimistic. If I were a Chase Elliott fan, because like Kyle Busch, I mean, like Kyle Busch, I mean, if Kyle Busch can break, I think more than break 2 bones, not just one but 2 bones, break 2 bones, miss half the season, come back on a tear and win the title. I don't see any reason. I don't see any reason why Chase Elliott cannot do the same. I mean, dude's heavily talented. He's still young, 27 years. Um, there's no telling there's no telling how long he planned on racing. I figure a long time. You know, maybe the same, maybe the same duration as his father, Bill Elliott, who went on for quite a while, a successful career. And so far in his young life, Chase Elliott has had one hell of a career so far, despite him being only 27 years old. There's still much to win, still so much to take in with such a young career. I see this not being I see this being not a huge I don't ever see this being like a huge like a huge like a big obstacle. I mean, yeah, I mean, of course, this comes from a guy who's never broken a leg bone. I broke my arm, but never a leg, so I can't really speak upon experience. But I'm just going by what we've seen with Kyle Busch. I mean, of course, they're two different drivers, two different people. But if Kyle Busch can come back after breaking 2 legs from a season opener at Daytona, and then come back, win these races, and then win the playoff, and then win the title that same year, I see no reason why Chase can't. Um, as I said, Chase is talented. The only thing I can see happening right off the bat when he returns, when Chase Elliott returns, I say it's probably around. Let's see. Let's look at the schedule. Um, Kabish came back around Sonoma time, I believe. It was fairly late into the season, and that was with 2 bones, by the way. If I'm fairly sure Kabish came back around Sonoma time, which I think. Oh, where kind of. I'm figuring Chase Elliott might come back maybe a race after Sonoma. Figuring out where that's at in the schedule now. Of course, the time has changed since. Of course, the timing has changed since 2015, but so Sonoma now is in June. I don't think Kyle was up for that long. I think Kyle was back a little sooner than that the last time. Let me look quick. See, 15 NASCAR schedule. Nope. NASCAR schedule, please. There we go. Yeah, I'm thinking Kyle came back around Sonoma time. Around Sonoma. Okay, let's see here. So, tell me. Okay, so Sonoma was. Okay, it was still. Oh, okay, well. Huh. Okay, maybe not Sonoma. When was Cobbush back? When did Cobbush return? Uh, I thought it was Sonoma when he came back. Okay, so with Kyle Busch's fraction, so when Kyle Busch broke his legs, he missed 11 races. He missed 11, and that's a lot of races. So let's assume Chase Elliot misses the same amount. That's Vegas, Phoenix, Atlanta, Coda, Richmond, Bristol. That's 6. Martinsville, Dega, Dover, Kansas, Darlington. So, okay, so Bush came back around Kansas time, or rather, roughly around, whatever race that was at the time. So, so say roughly, say he comes back roughly Kansas or Darlington. I'm basing this off of Kyle Busch's. Um, I'm basing it off of Kyle Busch's injury, where he broken his tibia and his was it fibia? I'm no doctor. Nope, that's not what I want. But with this only being one bone, I say with this only being one bone, I see Chase coming back maybe a few races earlier. I say maybe. I say he comes back around maybe around Bristol, Martinsville time. So that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish races. That's with one. That's with one bone. I mean, maybe he comes back sooner. Maybe he has crazy healing abilities, which I don't think so. but if Kabush missed 11 with 2 bones broken, then I see no reason why Chase can't come back with 1. Come back earlier with his 1, unless it's a very significant break. Varying on location, varying on where it's at. Which Kyle Busch himself said it may take more than a month to heal up, and so it's March 4th now, and a month from now, in NASCAR's time, a month from now in terms of schedule will be about Richmond Bristol time, April 2nd, April 9th. Yeah, I mean that's not too bad. I mean he'll be missing a few. I mean that's not too bad, but he will be missing I say a very crucial race, that being Phoenix, and probably Coda. Phoenix because of course Phoenix of course being the last race of the season. If he were to make it to Phoenix, later on this season at the final as the final 4, he'll probably have no notes, no feeling, no knowing how the car ran at Phoenix, except for the season finale. Except for the season finale last year, where Joey Logano took it home in a snooze fest fashion. Of course, that's my opinion of last year. Oh yeah, but yeah, it really sucked. I hope I can only I can only hope for the best for Chase. Hope he recovers fast. I hope he comes back much sooner than the date I think, but I'm thinking it's gonna be around Bristol Dirt and Richmond when he comes back, and maybe Martinsville. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a snowboarding expert. I'm just going by what I'm just using Kyle Busch as like a reference, considering he was to my knowledge, the most recent Cup driver to have broken a bone at the beginning or the during a NASCAR season. Especially being especially a top driver like him, the most popular driver in the sport right now. But but in his absence, they're gonna give, or at least for Vegas, I don't know if they're gonna have him race some more. But for Las Vegas, they're gonna have Josh Berry, Dale Jr.'s boy, driving number 9 for Las Vegas, and maybe for races after. There's no confirmation. There's no confirmation about that. All we know is that Josh Berry will be driving the 9 car on Sunday. We'll be driving the car on Sunday afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Um, in which this would give him a much big opportunity. This would give him a huge opportunity to showcase what he can do. Of course, people know Josh Berry from being Junior's best bud from iRacing. Um, Josh Berry started. Josh Berry is a short track um, specialist, as been noted by Junior. Junior met him through iRacing. Saw him on iRacing, met him there, became best buds, and then one thing after another, Junior offered him a ride at his team Xfinity Series. He won in Martinsville as a part-time driver. And the next thing one knows, he got sponsorship figured out, and he's a full-time driver doing a phenomenal job behind the 8 car with GRM. Now I believe Bass Pro Shop behind him, so that's a big sponsorship jumping on board with him. And this will be a huge opportunity for him to showcase what he can do, to see how he does with the top level of at the very top level of NASCAR temporarily. Again, it's been unconfirmed as to how many times Josh Berry will be behind the wheel. Maybe this is his only time. Maybe there'll be more. Maybe there'll be more. Very on how he performs. But this will be like an opportunity of a lifetime, going from in like a span of I believe 4 years, go from a iRacing driver to a Cup Series, a part-time Cup Series driver, Cup Series fill-in, part-time. In just a matter of like, what, 3 years? I think it was 2 years. But yeah, I see. Yeah, I say if given enough seat time, given enough time to race with the best in the business, I see no reason why Josh Berry can't. I see no reason why Josh Berry cannot perform at a top level like he has been in the Xfinity Series. As a matter of fact, he's which I mean, matter of fact, he's okay. Hold on one second. As a matter of fact, as of right now, he stands 8th overall in the Xfinity's point series standings. eighth overall, eighth seed. If the playoffs were to start right now, it's not bad. Not damn bad at all. This would be his. This will be okay. Well, hold on. Okay, okay, okay. So he's been around. Okay, wow. He's been around NASCAR a lot longer than I thought, but his big break was with JRM, in which clearly started in 2021, roughly 2 years ago, and ever since his career has taken off with JRM. Um, so again, it's been like 2 years. He's been running phenomenal. Um, his first year with JRM was meh. I mean, wasn't bad. Could have definitely been better. But his second year, average started 9.4, average finish of 10.7. That's a net positive. I mean, so far this year, he scored one top five, one top 10, going into the third race of the Xfinity Series season, and that's not bad at all. So it still ain't bad. We got 20 laps so far. Could obviously do more, but season just started. Um, Let me do this real quick. All right, so we move on from Elliot in the Elliot story. We move on from that. We'll move on to Las Vegas. This Sunday is the Pennzoil 400, which goes green tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time or 3:30 Eastern time. Showing on the grid, Joey Logano has the pole. He'll lead the field of green. He'll lead the field of green. He'll lead Byron. He will lead Byron, Blaney, Gibbs, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, and Christopher Bell, running out the top 10 of the qualifying feed. What I've noticed in that top 10, several names stand out. Of course, first being Kyle Busch, coming off a very fiery beginning of the season, almost winning at Daytona, and winning at Auto Club last week. He is showing the NASCAR world well. I mean, it comes as no surprise. Kyle Busch doing so well, but in a brand new team, for him anyway, RCR, driving the 8 Chevrolet, the same car that Tyler Reddick left last year. He found himself 5th on the grid, which of course, as a long-time NASCAR fan, this comes as no surprise. This is definitely Kyle Busch of old resurging. Kyle Busch will start at 5th after his win after his win at Auto Club, but also after his victory in the Craftsman Truck Series last night, which again comes no surprise. It's more surprising of how surprised people are seeing him being so successful. I mean, the man has 2 titles, the most of any active driver right now. Dude has dude just cracked into this, just cracked into 60 plus wins in the Cup Series. Plus that, if you add on expanding the trucks, um, dude's been on tear since day one. Like it should come no surprise that he's doing good, but for some people, for some reason, it's very surprising. I don't know if it's because they. I don't know if it's because the media just wants something to like I don't get it. I don't understand. Is it because he's older now? Is that why is that why everybody's so like surprised, or most people are surprised that he's doing good because he's older? He's like one of the oldest of the garage. Like, did they forget who this is? I mean, this is the same guy. Okay, this is the same guy. This is the same guy I was talking about earlier. The guy he broke two bones back in 2015. Early on in the season, it was the opener Daytona for the Xfinity Series race. I believe it's come to the checkered flag, crashed into the inside wall, which was not protected by the way at the time. It was nothing but a concrete wall. He broke two bones in his right leg. He like 7 months later of rehab, of rebuilding, of getting back on his feet, literally, get back in the car. Dude comes back midway through the season, goes on a tear, and wins the title in that same season. The same season he started in a hospital bed, and people are surprised that he's doing good this season. Like, he's had a few off seasons. Most notably, I think it was last year or the year before, where he only won, where he only won one race versus the multi wins we're used to seeing. Versus the multi wins that we're used to seeing, but I mean, so what? So what? He won one race those seasons. He's still winning. He's still finding a way to the victory lane. Not everyone will have a hot season every single year. Look at Jimmy Johnson, my guy, the guy I've rooted for since I've started watching NASCAR. He went on tear his entire career until his final 3 seasons. His final 3 seasons, he went winless, which hurts a lot. It hurts a lot as a fan, but that's just how things go. That's just the nature of racing, the nature of everything. He, like, and of course, at the time, one of those years was during Hendrick's low point in performance. They lost performance somehow, but of course, as things go, once Jimmy retired, Hendrick found speed again with Kyle Larson, and then with Chase Elliot winning the championship, and then Kyle Larson winning the championship next year, the year after. Like Jimmy Johnson was Superman to many. Jimmy Johnson was untouchable to many in the Cup Series, and then he has his last 3 seasons. So what? That doesn't tarnish his legacy. Same goes for Dale Earnhardt. When he first started, he was just another driver, and of course I wasn't around when he was racing. I was just born. I was roughly I was roughly 1 year old when Dale Earnhardt tragically passed away. But when he tragically passed away, and I'm sure many Earnhardt fans probably don't want to admit it, but I'm sure there was probably some seasons where Earnhardt was, not the not necessarily his like bad year, but just an off year for Earnhardt standards. You know what I mean? Like with Kyle Busch, we're used to seeing him we're used to seeing him win multi wins. Now in multi wins, in all his final years with the JGR, it was just one win. Um, I'm sure Petty, God, he had a fall off his last year as king or his last season as a driver, and not the only one. Now we see Kevin Harvick going through the same thing. Sure, he won 2 races last year, but I mean, he won 2 races back to back, but then didn't show up ever since. When playoffs started, he didn't show up. Matter of fact, I think he was one of the first four to be eliminated. I believe. So I mean, it comes no surprise that some drivers will have a fall off. And with Kyle Busch being 37, dude's still young for driver standards. I mean, he's not. He's not the youngest, of course, but he's going. Dude's 37 this year, and dude's 37 and statistically 37 to about 43, 42 is like the NASCAR driver's peak years. Like statistically, Kyle Busch is going to what is possibly his best year as a driver ever. Because that's where most drivers I don't know if it's it's like experience and talent just collide and peak. They collide and peak. So and then for Kyle Busch to immediately have a win this early in the season is no surprise to me, or at all really. Of course, there's other names. Back to the starting grid. There's other names to point out. Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs is a big name. Well, a rookie Ty Gibbs. We haven't really seen much of him so far this year. Of course, this year is still young. He didn't. He didn't finish so well in the 500. He finished 25th. I mean, it's not terrible for a rookie, but from what you're used to seeing from Gibbs in the Xfinity Series is not great. And of course, not a club. He finished. Where is he? 16th. Well, a little better. Finished 25th in the 500. Finished 16th in our club. It's not great, but I mean for a rookie, that's fine. I mean, I think his finishes are not earth shattering, but for a rookie, that's not bad. Take your time, learn the field. Make sure your talent is well developed in the series before you start trying to do large leaps. And now in Las Vegas, he starts 4th, which I believe this is. Pretty sure this is. Is this Kyle Busch's old team or this Pretty sure he has Kyle Busch's old team. So it comes no surprise that he qualified good, but this is probably this is the highest he has qualified, I believe, in the Cup Series thus far. But it comes no surprise because his team, I believe, is Kyle Busch's old team. Aside from a few crew members. Um, but of course, as a longtime NASCAR fan, qualifying gonna do so much. It can show you how fast you are, but then tell you the whole story. Um, like you may do good here, but you may fall off in the race. We'll have to wait till Sunday. And another name to point out in the top 10 of qualifying is Brad K. Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski in his number 6 Ford with RFK Racing. Of course, usually it's never a surprise to see Brad Keselowski up front. But with them being in RFK, I mean, at this point, it's kind of been shown as a the success rate of moving to RFK Racing for Penske from last year. Um, been mediocre. I mean, not bad, but he hasn't won since Penske, which you know had he haven't won since Penske. Hasn't really qualified too well, but with them qualifying top 10, there might be some might be a shining star, a shining car this weekend. Um, Qualifying 7th overall, which not bad, especially considering the past couple of seasons, Ross Fenway has never been close to a top 10 qualifying position since I think Greg Biffle. Greg Biffle's time in the 16. But and of course the Brad K and Victor Lane is not a new, has never been a new pairing. So I say watch out for that number 6 car this weekend. I don't know how he was in practice, but in qualifying he'll be coming out 7th. So I figure he has a fast car. Of course, we see Austin Cindric. There's just a position or two behind him in his number 2 Ford. Hadn't really seen a whole lot of him making a big splash since his Daytona 500 victory last year. Kind of been here and there. Austin Cindric. Sometimes he shows up. Sometimes he doesn't show up. Towards the end of the race, sometimes he's just there. Basically gives me a Paul Menard vibe. Like he's it's like he's not running bad, but he's not running great. Like he's like the upper teens sort of runs, upper teens, lower top 10s sort of runs. Which I mean, it's not bad. Not bad. It's a respectable. It's a respectable area. Bring the the car clean as much as he can. As I look to see that he probably DNF last week. No, he can't. No, 28th. 28th. 28th and 23rd, big wreck. Well, well, for the most part, keeping it clean. Not as clean as Paul Menard, but I mean, that was Daytona. What do you expect? What do you expect from Daytona? A constantly clean race car at the 500? No, I don't think so. What's next? What's next on the old deal? I guess we'll touch up on Auto Club. Last week was the last time we'll ever see. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, Auto Club. Yeah, last week was yeah. See, last week was yep. Last week was the final race on the 2 mile racetrack of Auto Club. They sold about 90% of the land to I believe a industrial company for a whopping several $billion. Um, and for several $billion in NASCAR to be leased of parking and camping, which to me I believe is in my opinion, the most stupidest idea that they would have done. To me, please understand this. I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I've been a NASCAR fan since I was young, and it's just frustrating. NASCAR makes these deals. The land they used to have is going to take money instead of making money. The land they could have used, like where the old configuration, excuse me, where the old configuration was, they could have added at track entertainment. They could have added parking. They could have added camping. I mean, I guess to be fair, I guess I'm never there at Auto Club, so I could never know. I could never know how many people are there and how many people really show up to the Auto Club races. Um, but to me, I think the better um, option would have kept that land, sell some of it, sure, but keep the most of it for your own self. At track entertainment, camping, parking, stuff that would have been free for NASCAR, and more money to be drawn in if more fans showed up. Um, it would have been more money into the pocket of Auto Club rather than a constant bleeding of the wallet. Not that NASCAR needs anymore. Not that not that NASCAR needs any more bleeding of their wallets, because whatever. Like, it just infuriates me that these deals happen, and and it just kind of shows how it kind of just shows how little NASCAR has learned from North Wilkesboro. Um, like, they left North Wilkesboro for greater markets, that being um, Texas, Vegas, Kansas. No, Texas, Vegas, Kansas, I believe. Um, I believe. Oh, hold on. Let me change something. Let me change something real quick. What real reggae? Got my tags all messed up on Twitch. One second, people. There we go. There we go. That'll fix things. I don't know why I didn't change anything there, but anyway. But yeah, as I was saying, like it it shows to me that NASCAR did. It almost shows to me that NASCAR never learned from North Wilkesboro. Like they left. They left in 19. What was 1993, 1992? 96. Their final race in '96. They closed that. They left that track for bigger and better markets. Sure, the sport was thriving. It was growing. More and more people were watching it. But they went to tracks like Texas, Las Vegas. I believe Auto Club was one of them. One second. '97, yeah. So yeah, so Auto Club was another one, I guess, judging by time frame. Maybe it was affiliated, maybe it wasn't. Um, Maybe it was affiliated with the the stupid thing there, but look at the tracks now. Since that deal, since they left North Wilkesboro, Texas has given some good races, like in the 2000s and early 2010s. But since Texas has lost the ability to make races, to my opinion, like especially after the reconfiguration. I think back in 2016, 15, 17, 14, 15, around that area, they reconfigured it somehow, and somehow, some way, and they ruined it. Like whatever racing ability it was able to have at that time was just gone. Um, like no one could pass, no one could do anything. It's just horrible racing. Auto Club, as you all know, Auto Club is leaving. Is no longer is no longer a track anymore. In Las Vegas, it's living. It's finally able. They finally able to make their front. Well, as of last year, they were able to finally give us a car that would. They were able to give us a car that would be entertaining to watch. You know, be racy and fun to watch. I guess we'll see this Sunday how it does now, but like Las Vegas is the only one of those three tracks that are somewhat successful. Auto Club's successful as of late, but we don't know what's going to happen now, so that's kind of moot. But yeah, but yeah. To my point, NASCAR left North Wilkesboro for money, for markets. I mean, it's understandable for a business. Understandable, you know, a business had to constantly move or risk becoming left behind in the dust. But then you look back at North Wilkesboro, it was almost lost. It was almost gone for good. But luckily, thanks to incredible human beings like Dale Jr., Camper World CEO, I apologize for Marcus Lemonis. I apologize if I butcher your name, sir. If you're sorry for butchering your name, but if I sorry for pushing your name, sir. If you ever watch me, but yeah, Marcus Lemonis, Dale Jr. Um, and various other people, humans to save this track. If it weren't for them, North Wilkesboro would never ever exist anymore. Like I can see it being sold to some industrial park, just like what's happening with Greensville, South Carolina, where a iconic, well, a favorite, a fan favorite short track has been sold to a industrial company, and it's gonna be torn down and be replaced by like a man-made um, like North Wilkesboro would have possibly ended up like that if it weren't for Dale Jr., Marcus Lemonis, Dale Waltrip, um, the city, the city of North Wilkesboro doing all they can to bring NASCAR back. If it weren't for them, North Wilkesboro wouldn't be a thing. And I see this move from Auto Club somewhere else, selling the land of Auto Club, like around Auto Club, gives me the exact same vibe what they did with North Wilkesboro. Like instead of going to other tracks, which they will do for to replace Auto Club, so they can get the rebuild done, the renovations done. They sold off the land to they sold off the land, and they're making the track into a two like what like a two like a little short track. Um, I've seen the blueprints. I've seen the shape they're going for. It looks like a it looks like a New Hampshire. To me, it looks like a New Hampshire. Um, if like I don't know what details they put into the blueprints, whether the coordinates have banking, which I sort of hope God they do. If there's no banking, they basically just made another New Hampshire, and they're basically making a new New Hampshire, and there's no point. There's no return. There's no return to the 2 mile track because they sold that land. And since they sold that land, there's no going back from the point in which they came. And to me, in my eyes, that's the exact same scenario. Oh, exact same area of scenario with North Wilkesboro. They sold it for money. Now they can't go back to the old configuration. Oh, hey Bree. Hey Bree. Sad about Chase Elliot. Yeah, I just got done talking about him a little while ago. Um, I said with him, varying on how bad the break is, I'm figuring he's gonna be back. I'm taking a shot in the dark, basing it off of Kyle Busch's broken leg back in 2015. I'm thinking like Dirt Bristol, like a month from now. Around Dirt Bristol is probably when we'll see him again. That's what I think is the next time we'll see Chase again. Because Kyle Busch himself said it's probably gonna take more than a month to, at least more than a month to recover. But like I said earlier on in the stream, I said like if Kyle Busch can come back from breaking 2 bones, and he came back after 11 races, which is around Kansas now. I don't know what it was at the time, but if he can come back after 2 broken bones, come back after 2 broken bones, and if he come back after breaking 2 bones, come back after half a season, and then win a championship, I see no issue why Chase can't do the same. But yeah, back to Auto Club. It just infuriates me the deals and things NASCAR does and thinks they're doing right, but really they're just contradicting themselves by selling off the land of the land they could have used to make money. Instead, they sold it for money for billions of dollars, sure, but but they don't think the long term. While that money is great short term, in the long term, what then? Like, if this track is another New Hampshire, I'm just going by what I've seen from a little diagram. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Um, okay, so this is. Let me get up here real quick. Okay, so this is the. Okay, so. Which one's the right stream? This one. I think this one shows a little better. So as you look up here, there. If you look up here, this is the blueprint for the short track that they plan on doing for Auto Club. I seen a picture. I seen a picture of I see the picture of what it looks like in comparison to the old configuration, and it's essentially there you go. It's essentially within the grass of what is going to be the old Auto Club Speedway. Like they could have, like they sold all of this. They could have used all of this for like at track entertainment, parking, camping. Like sure, maybe that's too much, but I mean, better too much than not. It's better too much than not enough, and there's still plenty of spots for like say, I don't know, some like sponsored based stores or something like I don't know Wendy's, Wendy's popping up, I don't know Geico, just a Geico office. A cool little fan zone for Coca-Cola. Meeting the drivers or having like Coca-Cola stuff there or something. Something that would have been unique and fun and different. Would have been a waste of money. I don't know. If it's a Wendy's or Sonic or Wendy's, McDonald's, something. No, but. Maybe a gas station or something, make like a little tiny corporation village. That sounds boring, but could have put in like a park, could have put in like some like fan friendly areas. Would have been fun for people to come in instead of this selling the land and never going back to the old configuration at any point in a lifetime. Or what they could have done, in my opinion. Okay. One step at a time. So if you look at this this blueprint, what track does that remind you of? As a NASCAR fan, what does that little shape what does that remind you of? I got a check in mind, but what check does that remind you of? It's gonna be a little smaller than the one I have in mind, but to me it looks it looks just like a New Hampshire. it's essentially New Hampshire without the grass, without the grass portions over here. Like, to me, the only thing it's like if Martinsville in New Hampshire had an ugly baby. Now, of course, this is just lines and this is just lines and drawing on a piece of paper, but but for the love of everything, they better hope that they thought of banking in the corners, banking here, banking there, like something that makes this not New Hampshire. Now, no disrespect to NASCAR or to New Hampshire speed. No disrespect to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, but just my opinion as a NASCAR fan, New Hampshire has not been entertaining for the last 10 years. I'm sorry, like I do not know a single race that I remember that was wowing. Like I do not remember a race that made me go, wow, I remember that race in New Hampshire. Like the only time I remember a New Hampshire race was Michael Waltrip spinning out Robbie Gordon, and Robbie Gordon getting out of his car and tossing his helmet into his window net, and into his window net, and Michael goes, I was at a he went like um he went like, well, how did he win? He went like I had a helmet go through my window, or almost go through my window. And then he go his crew chief came on like, well, that's just that's just plain rude. And, it was his fault. That was just plain rude. And it's just another day, just another day. But yeah, that's the only time, to my memory, to my knowledge, that a New Hampshire race was memorable. Like, there was there was an accomplishment made by Jeff Burton, the mayor, for, I believe, leading every single lap at New Hampshire. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the thing that was the accomplishment where he led every single lap. That would have mean there was no lead changes. That's like I mean, much to the respect of Jeff Burton. Like that's incredible as a driver. Like that's never gonna happen ever again. But that's, as a fan, that's just boring. Like, no lead changes. It's the same guy up front. And if that if this is that, like, this new Auto Club is that. Again, I haven't read any details of what this track's gonna be, besides what we see right here. Like, I don't know if there's gonna be banking right here. I don't know if there's gonna be banking right here or back there. But I'm just going by what I see, and it looks like a mix between Martinsville and New Hampshire. And I hope to God it races like Martinsville and not like New Hampshire, because holy hell. Like, it's bad enough if you have one New Hampshire. If you have two, bruh, better get a damn pill and blood, because this is gonna be a snooze fest. like maybe the only entertaining part's gonna be like the last few laps. Yeah, I mean, it just infuriates me. It just annoys me and infuriates me of the decisions NASCAR makes. Like, I feel like the last The last generally good decision NASCAR has made in terms of a track or ruling would be the green light. The green light chicken. The green light would be um the choose rule. The choose rule that they implemented, I think, back in 2020 during the pandemic, which was a nice rule. It's a fun rule. Uh, kind of has its up and it kind of has its ups and downs and stupid moments, but I think it's a cool idea. But for the track, track wise, the Roval, I'd say. Like the Roval was, I think the in terms of a new, well, I wouldn't call it a new track because it's a track within an old track. I love Charlotte. Nothing can replace Charlotte. But to me, the Roval, in terms of a track's change, it was the only time, the last time to me NASCAR made a good decision. Because at first it was like, why the hell change Charlotte? Why change something that's not broken? But after a few races, after a few races here and there, it became a great race. Like from Chase Elliot wrecking on the first turn and coming all the way back to winning it to Kyle Larson to Kyle Larson in 21 where he had that battery issue, like he was in danger of being eliminated after a stellar season. They got the battery swapped over and they come out win the race and win the championship. And then of course there's more pain from a former Jimmy Johnson fan, where Jimmy was on a winless streak. He almost came back. All he had to do was pass the 78 of Martin Truex Jr., but then he overcooked the tires and spun and hit Truex and gave the win to Blaney. That was exciting, but also painful for a NASCAR fan. Yeah, that was to me the last time NASCAR made a good decision on a track of any sorts. Unlike the Chicago street course, I hope it's a one and done race because to me as a NASCAR fan, that seems a bit much. Like there's already like eight road courses on the schedule. There's no need to add another, especially replacing it with Road America, which to me personally, Road America was okay. It wasn't like an earth-shattering race. To me, that's to me. I know people's gonna disagree with me, but that's my opinion. But me in general, I'm not a big road course individual. As a start, anyway. But I mean, why replace a track that is meant for these cars versus a street course in an area, in a location that could give two dirty Lincoln logs about NASCAR. Like when people think of Chicago, they think of the Bears, the Cubs, the Bulls, mostly sporting, and also maybe like Obama. Where the state he's from, Illinois, the big silver, the Windy City they call it, When they think of Chicago, they think of that. They don't think of NASCAR. So it's like, why pander to an audience that doesn't want anything to do with NASCAR? Sure, maybe toss the idea, whatever, whatever, fine, we can try it, whatever. But to me, for it to be a points paying race at a track that we have no idea how it's gonna be, that's where the bad idea starts. It's bad enough going to Chicago as is. But for it to be a points-paying race, not an exhibition, not a like an all-star race or well, no, not like an all-star race or a you know a a non-points paying exhibition race is a points paying race. Like what? Like why? Why could you make North Wilkesboro as the what? I'm going way too much into this rabbit hole. I go off of tangents so bad. I can't stay on one topic. I am sorry, but it's still like it's just another decision that the NASCAR made out of marketing and not out of logic. Like is a point. Like, what if things go wrong? What if things go wrong? Like this track is not this street course. I'm just not a big fan of this whole street course thing. I'll probably talk about it later. I'll talk about it another day. But it's still like, why? Why? It's like I get it, like I mean I get it. Like years ago, NASCAR has done these things, these crazy events, like at airports, at hell, even like in Australia or Japan. They've done these crazy, the Bowman Gray Stadium. They've done that before. They've done these crazy ideas. But that's when NASCAR had the popularity, that they had the spice at the time. Now it's just almost like, why? Like the timing, it just feels timing wise, the timing of it all almost feels as if NASCAR is trying to be like Formula One or IndyCar or these other series that other people are trying to make NASCAR into, instead of NASCAR being what they're known for, ovals, some road courses, circuit tracks. They're trying to make NASCAR into another Formula One, another IndyCar. That's just my opinion. I know people can have the same opinion as me, but it's like why? Like IndyCar, Formula One, they have their uniqueness. NASCAR has their uniqueness. Yeah, it's going left in circles all the time, whatever. But there's no other motorsport that does that. Like there's no other motorsports that I know of besides the SRX that does that. It does only circuit tracks. Going through different principles, different principles of racing, from short tracks to intermediates to super speedways to road courses, even dirt track. Like there's no other motorsports that does that besides NASCAR. NASCAR does it best. Only motorsports to my knowledge that does this only. But to me, NASCAR does this best. They've been doing it for 75 years, so it was like, why try to change their formula if it's been working for 75 years? But I mean, I'm just some guy on the internet. I'm sure I'm going on tangents that I probably shouldn't. I got from Auto Club to talk about Chicago, but yeah, as I was saying before, I sure hope to God this track here, that track there, this track there, that one, one can only hope that track there has banking. If it does not have banking, if it has no banking, you might as well start playing taps for this track because it's not going to last long. Like I think 2025, 2024, 25 is when we'll see this track in person because they're gonna tear up the 2 mile track. But yeah, I guess the only thing we have to say is we'll have to wait and see. But it still infuriates me how they sold the land, and now they sold the land, and it's gonna be to a point where when fans want it back, when fans hate this, when fans don't like this, and they want the 2 mile track back, they can't. NASCAR can't, because it's gonna be built over by a industrial business instead of a entertainment that NASCAR could have put down, like at track entertainment, like I don't know. They're in California, right? It's our public in California, so they could have put in like a movie theater. They could have put in like a go-kart area for fans. They could have put more entertainment instead of industrial parks. I'm sure. It's like, what is the trend? What is the trend of NASCAR tracks having industrial parks near them? Like, why can't it just be entertainment too? Like, why can't it just be entertainment? Like, it's like going to Disney World, right? It's like going to Disney World, and all you hear is construction. Like, when I go to Talladega, I go to Talladega every fall, and when I go to Talladega every fall, sure I see some businesses, and yes, I get NASCAR is not at this track every single day. Unlike these businesses that have to run and keep America flowing. I get fans aren't going to be there every single day, but when they go there and all they see is industrial construction companies all around instead of stuff that keeps the fans engaged with the track and the racing. It kind of becomes it kind of just ruins the experience. It ruins the what's the word I'm looking for? Experience, I guess. Like when you're at the racetrack, you're in the atmosphere of NASCAR. All you want to think about, all you want to talk about, look around about is NASCAR. The racing, the drivers, the fans. Talking with the fans, talking shit with the fans. Like it was back in the day. Go Jimmy, go Junior. Jimmy sucks, Junior sucks. That stuff. Or Kyle Busch Jr. Fans going back and forth with one another in a kind of like football, sort of. But they know their limits. Most of them do. Alcohol not involved. But when you have construction around your track, like they're gonna like in Chicagoland, they're putting companies around the track. They sold the land north of the track for industrial companies to come in. It's like, why? Like, you could have used that land for at-track entertainment or something to help the fans stay engaged with the racing and the track. Like, would it be expensive? Like, of course, I don't know the numbers of the cost of owning the land and what it would cost to add in the entertainment and maintain it. But if you're able to maintain the entire racetrack, I'm sure every racetrack has their own budget, which I'm sure they do because the I'm sure they mostly do because the track is like 80% of the the 80% of the TV deal. Um, like it's like they have this separate money, but they don't want to use it for abstract entertainment, so they sell the land. They sell the land they had. They're not paying for. Then they have to pay for it besides property taxes and water or whatever. Besides the usual stuff, to make money, they sell it, and then they just bone themselves of any more money for that track because they can't add anything to it. Like what? Like what? What the fuck? I don't. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass, but I mean, am I wrong to say that? Am I wrong to say stuff like that? I mean, like you think when you're NASCAR, and I mean, it sucks that you have to have other entertainment to bring fans to a sporting event. Like it sucks, but I mean, it's kind of become clear that people these days have short attention spans. They're not bored anymore. They want things that are snappy and keep their entertainment. They see something shiny. They want to see that shiny thing and move on to the next one quickly. Like it sucks. You have to have other entertainment to for your racing and all that, but like there's so many better decisions NASCAR should have done with the land that Auto Club was on, but instead it's gonna be nothing but a industrial spot. But what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a fan. I'm just a regular fan in the middle of nowhere, USA. But that's just my opinion. That's just my thoughts. Like it's like they had the land, they could have used it for entertainment or other NASCAR related stuff, maybe a short track for maybe a short track for lower divisions or smaller the smaller series or something, something that would be on brand or help bring fans in. Like I don't know, like again, like I said, if they're into California, so why not like a movie theater or um, something that like on brand and makes sense for the state they're in, or makes sense for the area. Like Kansas, for example. Kansas is sponsored by the casino. I forgot what it's called, but Las Vegas is the same thing. But Kansas has a casino by the track. Sure, it's for adults, but every time you go to Kansas, it's been hitting. It hits. It works. It brings fans in. It gives them a nice view of the track. It gives them something to do. Gives them something to do with the race going on. I mean, to me, they should be watching the race, but I mean, people are who they are. But like Kansas gave a good example. I believe I believe North Wilkesboro, they're gonna add like a Ferris wheel and all that shit later down the road. Like, and there's been other development ideas for around other tracks. And it's like you have these ideas. Why not use it for this? Why not do it for this? Why not do it for the Auto Club area? Or hell, to me, the thing they should have done with the current Auto Club, like they want super speedways, right? Well, they had one. Auto Club was a super speedway, but they called it a speedway for whatever reason. All they had to do was just raise the bacon some. Raise it to like 33 degrees or to 33 or 30 degrees, Talladega Daytona style, boom, that's your super speedway. You have a 2 mile, 5, 6 wide, 6 lane, 7 lane track of super speedway action. Bring a super speedway package, and there you go. You'll then have 4 super speedways instead of hold on. Let's look at the schedule now. Let's look at the schedule now. Hold on a second. Wow, I was taking some points later. Holy shit! I just realized that. No, the schedule, please. So you'll have 4 super speedways instead of So let's count them now. Coliseums is 1 short track. Richmond 2nd. Bristol still counts because Bristol. Martinsville's 4. Is Dover? Would Dover be counted as a short track? It's like shorter than Richmond, ain't it? Or size-wise shorter, right? I won't count it to the case. North Wilkesboro, it's 5 now. St. Louis, I don't think that's a short track. I could be wrong. I'm not a connoisseur in what's between those two. Okay, so 5. Yeah, 5 different. Okay, you'll have 5 different short tracks. This is before Auto Club, by the way. You'll then have 6 short tracks. Okay, six short tracks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. You'll then have 6 short tracks. Okay, six short tracks. 10, 11, 12. I've got Vegas. 12. 12 different intermediate tracks. Okay, 12 intermediate tracks. Okay, 6 short tracks. Yeah, six short tracks, and only 1, 9, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12. To me, I don't count this as super speedway. This is still an intermediate track to me, but they call it a super speedway. Whatever. 4. You'll have 4 super speedways. You'll have 6 short tracks. 12 intermediate tracks. And I think 1. I don't count 2. 3. 4, 5, 6. 6 road courses. You still have the least super speedways. If they would have made Auto Club again, the current formation, the current configuration, all they had to do was raise the banking and call it a super speedway. Call it a super speedway, then you have 5 super speedways. And honestly, Auto Club would make a better super speedway than Atlanta. Like to me, Atlanta is too narrow. Like Atlanta is too narrow for a super speedway. Did they make it work? Kinda worked, but we only raced it once. I think once has been twice, I guess, whatever. But like it would still make sense to me to just raise making of the current auto club, call it a super speedway, and see how that does. You know, like I'm sure it would do better. I'm sure it would have done better than the lineup we have now, because Auto Club has a better setting to be a super speedway. Because it essentially was a super speedway, but no one's calling it super speedway. I think that was the main problem. But whatever. um, yeah, I mean, what's done is done. There's no going back. And even when this track here is, I mean, of course, it's not even built yet, so we don't even know how it's gonna look like, what it's gonna be. I'm hoping again for some banking on those corners. If not, then it's gonna be probably gonna be a lucky lose fest. And yeah, I don't want that to happen. No, it's like this is a this is the kind of move that this is one of those moves where you better do it right. Like if you're gonna do it, it better be damn right. Otherwise, Fontana may be losing NASCAR as a choice of a fan choice. Like like um, sorry, one second. I'm replying to a friend, an old friend. Um. Okay. Yeah, it just still like again, like I said, I hope. I mean, for the sake of NASCAR and the sake of Fontana fans and the fans in that area, I hope this track does well. Like, despite my, like you say, my harsh opinions, what I'm saying, like I hope it does well. I mean, it's gonna have to do well, otherwise it may be the end of that area. It's gonna suck considering how much fans were starting to love Auto Club. Um, and I'm sure and I'm sure the fans of the area would love for this area. I would imagine that the fans of the area would want this track to stay around because it's gonna be their only home track besides Sonoma, um, which Sonoma is a hit or miss. Um, yeah, like Sonoma's been a hit or miss for me personally. Washington Glen for me has been a better road course, a better traditional road course track. Of course, this is coming from a guy who's not a fan of road courses in general. I'm more of a super speedway, and like a Charlotte kind of intermediate fan. Um, but again, like it's hard. It's hard to me to not voice what NASCAR should have done and should have tried before going to this route instead of selling off the land to an industrial company and then having the parking and the camping leased. Having it leased instead of it being their parking, NASCAR's property, and selling the parking, making the money, but that's too much. That's too good of an idea. So let's sell it for billions of dollars, which is fine short term, but long term, who the hell knows? Yeah, I mean, it just choices and decisions I wish that were made differently, but hell, what do I know? I'm not a businessman. I'm not a business individual. I'm just a NASCAR fan. What do I know? I've only been watching this sport since I was a little kid, so surely I wouldn't know. I'm just another voice that doesn't know jack all. One second, yacht. One second, yacht. One second, yacht. One second, yacht. Searching my talking to my buddy. One second, yacht. Sorry, sorry. 1 second. Me, I'm responding to a buddy of mine. Don't know if you can hear the music, but it's non-copyrighted, so I hope the guy don't get in trouble. This music's made by no copyright sound, so I hope the God is like, I hope I don't get a strike on my videos from a non-copyrighted source. I mean, it's in the name, so hopefully I don't get in trouble. I don't want to make some sense over there, so I don't know where I'm here, but whatever. Alright, anyway, oh, hold on, let's see. Alright, so anyway, sorry, I was talking to a buddy of mine back to the old home. I mean, like I said, I hope it does well. I hope the track turns out great. I just hope I'm just again for the better of hope. I hope it does good. I hope the track does well. But again, like this is worrisome. I haven't read any more detail besides what I see here. So maybe there is banking. Maybe they're planning on maybe they're planning on adding banking. Maybe they are gonna make it good. But I don't know. I haven't read anything. I haven't heard anything more besides what I'm seeing here. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting when it's gonna be very interesting once it's complete. Of course, they said it might be complete by 2025. So we'll have a good year of no auto club, which that's not new. Considering we haven't raced it in 2020, during the pandemic rather. But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for tonight's podcast. There will be various other topics more to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, being the Sunday's race at Las Vegas. Be sure to tune in to that race. Let me bring back my face, ugly mug. But yeah, be sure to tune in be sure to watch on Fox Sports, PRN, or Sirius XM to watch the Pennzoil 400. The Pennzoil 400. Race starts at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, or about I think it was like 12 Pacific time, 12:30. Knowing Las Vegas the past couple years, I think it'll be a decent race. I don't think it'll be any. I don't think it'll be a earth-shattering race. Maybe it will be. I don't know, but traditionally Las Vegas has been. I mean, Las Vegas has been on a upward trend in terms of raceability. Put on good shows. Especially the last couple of years with his next gen car, but things can turn for the worse as they have been before. As things have been snooze fest before. All it takes is the wrong package now, and they'll go south. But yeah, but yeah, I guess that'll be the end for the stream. YouTube, Twitch, thank you for watching. I am streaming. Yes, I said YouTube. I am streaming this. I'm streaming this on YouTube. I'm streaming this on Twitch. I decided to try this out. Do a double whammy live stream where I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Maybe help kind of spread myself a little further, or trying to bring my name out further, hopefully. I can only hope. But yeah, hopefully this works out good. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing this for my other streams as well. Simply because I don't have time. Thanks to my work, I have no time to edit videos on YouTube. At least not yet. I will have more time coming soon, but considering I put in my 2 weeks, not yesterday Friday, but the Friday before. Hopefully, within the next after this coming week, I'll have 3 weeks, and then I'm gone from this area, so I may not be online for a bit when that happens. But until that happens, I will be on more frequently. not next week, but the week after. Hopefully, I can use that time as an opportunity to gain traction. Working, hopefully, as I said, hopefully, create more content for you guys. I want to do more of this, more NASCAR content, more gaming content as I have been doing. I've always wanted to be a content creator since I've been a fan of watching people doing what I want to do. Guys like the Yogscast, Achievement Hunter at one point. Now Ray and Vegas Jr. on Twitch. I feel like this is the place I want to be. This place where I'm happy the most. But dreams don't happen overnight. So until then, as I said, Twitch, YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you watch this far, I love you all. Please hit that follow, like, and subscribe. Join the Lion Pride Nation, and to help grow my channel, so I can provide more content for you guys. And hopefully you like this stuff, because I sure like it. If you don't, then I'll be sad. But until then, have a good night. Talk to you soon. I'll probably stream tomorrow after the race.